Welcome to another one here on Truth and Love the Church. I listened to this amazing testimony and I thought of sharing with you. Let's listen as Prophet Angel talks about how he met his wife. This will so inspire you, especially for those who walk in the Spirit. Let's get into it. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Meet you in the next one as always. God bless you.
Are you still here? I was at a college called Educare College in the Midlands, Guero, staying in a place called Ivins, not that Ivan, South Downs in Guero, after Lundi Park. And I'm staying there doing my A-levels. And I was a member of the Family of God church. And I get into the church. And I'm hearing the man of God saying, you can pray for your wife. God can show you your wife. I said, wow. I said, this is better. Because stopping these women and then they dump you and they refuse. Don't act like it's not your story. Eh? Went back home. I said, God, my own wife I'll find through a vision. Visit me in a vision. I did not receive anything. For 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, nothing. I'm now in my vision. All of a sudden, in a dream, I'm seeing from the legs to just the knees. And they are in some kind of a skirt, polka dot, white and black. And a man stood after I see that. Men stood and said, that's your wife. I said, hey. Which wife? Yeah. We need to start with the face. How do I search for a woman like this? You go into town, everyone has got polka dots. What do? You go like this? No, you're not here. I will finish next week. Are you flowing or you've gone home? So I kept on telling my brothers. I was staying with my brother called Sam. I told him, look, I found my wife. He said, what does she look like? Me and Sam, we are the same. We don't know nothing. If I explain, I can only explain the part of the skirt. I said, I'll tell you. I'm still in the spirit. Following month, same thing. Now it became 2 months apart. 2 months apart, I'll just see the same thing. Every 2 months, you understand? 6 times a year, boom, just the same thing. Then I moved to Harare from that location. I moved to Harare in an apartment called Craig Giver Court. As I stayed there, the vision started changing to every month. I'm not stupid. I was getting closer. Now, I'm now getting up to here now, to the neck. We were about to get there. I was ready for marriage. All of a sudden, my brother says, we are now going back. We are going to stay in Masasa Park. Because I was staying with my brother. We went to Masasa Park. The vision changed to, again, back to 2 months. And sometimes 1.5 months. I realized we are going far again. Then my brother said, I'm getting married and I just want to leave this house and get another house that is, while I'm building my new house, I live in another house. So I'm going to stay in Marimba Park. When we got there, it was happening every week. So I said to my brother, you know what? I'm going to have this thing. You have just gotten married. Me, I'm waiting to see the face. The night I landed in Marimba Park, I got to see up to here. And I could see a mark, a black dot here. I said, now I know. I told my brother, she has got a... And the whole dress now, it was polka dot, black and white. So every time my brother would go out for some other thing, he would call me and said, we have not seen your wife here. And then they started making jokes. Now, remember, these are visions. Who knows? Maybe it's after 20 years. God's time is different from our time. He can show you. Have you ever seen a vision where you are rich and you think it's going to be tomorrow? Are you getting this? So when I realized it was like I started going to work, and I would work just up here. And as I was working there, I would just work until 12 and tell the person who's the owner of the company, because I was working very close to him. I think you know him, called Ken Sharp. Yes. So I then, and of course we developed a brotherhood to the extent that even during COVID, they stayed at my house, for, just him and his wife for days and days, just us there. Now, I understand this. Anyway, you shall make
a lot of money that even your boss will come to your house.
I receive. Ask him, I said, no, I'm just going to do my job and I need to go back home. So I would do my thing and go back home, because I knew the dream and the visions are occurring here frequently. So I need to be there in the afternoon. Stop everyone with, if they didn't have that dress, they should have a mark somewhere. Nothing happened. Are you following? Are you following? Then one day I got off the bus, and a man is sitting by the junction, and a young man, not a young man, my age rather at that time. I said, are you not, he said, it's me. He looked at me, called my name, I called his name. Do you know how crazy that was? We were together in school in grade 2. No. We're not staying in the same place. No, we just, his mother just happened to be in the same location when he was in grade 2. And after grade 2, he left. I noticed him immediately. We sat there. As we sat there, I saw a lady coming from there. I said, God, if this is not the lady you gave me, forget the dream. Some of you, this story of mine, I will leave it alone. I said, if this is not the lady you gave me, please make sure you put a dot here and give her a address. She came, she greeted this one because they were neighbors. I had no idea. Greeted me, and I said, brother, who is this one? I said, God, forget that one. Because you never know, maybe you are having visions of a world beyond this one. And he said, oh no, that's we are kind of now, because of the relationship of the family we are. I said, wow, she's something else. Then he said, I'm going to come to your house. Where is your house? I said, there. I went there with him. And the next day, are you getting this? The next day, I had a vision. And when I left them, I went home and I just resting there on the sofa like this. And I started seeing that vision like it was, when something is in a loop, the same vision comes in a loop, in a loop, in a loop, in a loop. And only my brother knows this vision. These people don't know nothing. But in the vision, there was a name that was being called there. And the name was Ann. A-N-N. Ann. E. So I'm like, now I have the name now. Easy. Easy name now. I've got the name now. Now I asked my friend, what is the name of that lady? She said, the name is Beverly. I said, that's not Ann. But anyway, we don't care now. But I've not told my friend this issue of dreams and this issue of vision and this issue of the name. Nothing. I'm in the room. I see my friend, this former classmate of mine. They are passing there with Prophetess, her sister, and the brother, and they are passing by my house. I said, whoa, that's that guy. I'm telling my brother, that guy used to be in the class. He said, oh, that. Then we remembered the family and stuff like that. I said, when they come, when they come back, I'll call him. So when we saw them come, I said, come here. I said, no, I need to go, and they need to go. I said, all of them, let them come. I had a plan. I wanted to pray for them. Let's all stand up and go home. Kudamakua. Hey! They like all the gossip. They just were like, we're staying here. So they are now sitting in the house. Now my brother now is just going like, what's happening? I said to this young man, I'm now going to just rest. I'll see you in the evening, later on. I went in there. My brother followed. He said, so I said, no, you talk to them. Just. And they started talking in there. So they said, we are going. So he came to say, look, they are going now. So I went there, and they are leaving, going like this. I looked through the window. I looked from the legs to the dress. I said, this is the dress I saw in the vision, my brother. He said, that's why I was saying. Brothers and sisters, there are wives that God chooses for you. There is a husband that Makune Mendraka Fradika Sate. I said, that's it. He said, she even has this thing here. Now I ran fast. I went there, stopped there, called that middle name, that name. She says, how do you know my name? And that was the middle name. I said, I was in the zone. I got the name fast by the Spirit. Called the name. She's like, that's my name. How do you know my name? And now this friend of mine, ex-classmate of mine, has no idea there is a name like that. And no idea that there is a dress like this. I said, how did you get this dress? She's confused. Like, what's it? It came from London. My sister visited London and bought herself a dress. And when she came here, couldn't fit the dress and brought it to me. Now all this, God is planning a dress from London that the person doesn't fit. So they can give a person with a name called Anne with a mark here. Just so that the prophecy can be confirmed. She said, what do you want to talk to me about? I said, stand here. I said, you people stand here. But they were hearing me. I said, I love you quickly. See, taking time. It's taking time. It's taking time. There is no discussion here. I said, I love you. I want to marry you. And I'll marry you. And I was speaking in our vernacular. Because I realized that every time she would speak, she would be speaking English. Because the mother is mixed race, the grandfather is white. And in the lineage there is a Japanese. Great-grandfather, Japanese. I come from Masvingo. Where God comes from. The only advantage I have here is to just act my level. If you can't take my Shona, you can't take my English. Some of you say, why would you use Shona when somebody was speaking English? Simple. I used all my English in prayer. Now standing there, right there, I said, this is what is going to happen. If you say no right now, I will not come back again. If it is God, it has to be God. You meet a man who tells you your middle name that no one knows. You want me to struggle. I love you like a pop in a guava tree. She's like, no. Explain yourself. I said, I'm not explaining myself. How do you know my name? I said, don't worry. I'll tell you another time. But right now, we are here. I give you just a few minutes to think. I'm going to stand there. Why play around with nonsense? Oh, some of you take a woman for 3 years. We are dating. No, it's kidnapping. What you were supposed to know, you will know in 5 days. It's done. Someone said, I've been in this relationship for 8 years. No, your husband is not a man. That's Boko Haram. Bring back our girls. What are you trying to do? Is a woman a Toyota that you want to test drive? Let me say what we say in Mashingo, which I will not want you to confuse. Who comes from Mashingo here? Dave, where do you come from now? Oh, you're okay now. That's okay. He got to a place where people just say, are you from Mashingo? I'm from Mashingo. Everyone was so happy to meet someone from Mashingo. We were talking Mashingo only. He says, I think I should come from Mashingo now. There was a certain unity in Mashingo. Are you flowing? Are you flowing? Just imagine. I have to use my own vernacular to explain. I said, if I have to wait for long, that means it's not what it's supposed to be. You could see she's struggling. Do you understand? When God has given a word, and the word is summoning you, and there is a deep in you, calling unto the deep in somebody, that deep has to respond. That's why the Bible says, deep calleth unto the deep. At the sound of thy waterspouts, I'm mixing verses here. At the sound of thy waterspouts, my soul panteth after thee, as a deer panteth for the water. Deep calleth unto deep, and the noise of thy waterspouts, all my waves and my billows are gone over me. Are you flowing? And immediately she said, if I say yes, it has to be real. We are getting married, and there is no funny play. It's going like this. I said, I'm the one who gave you that proposal. Agree now. She agreed. I said, in 57 days we are married. Are you not even here? 57 days it was done. And now, 4 boys later, I still love me some Bebe Angel. Now, you didn't hear what I just said. Why? There is a summon that is inside of me. And look at the people we produced. God through us produced 4 generals. 2 of them are functioning like easily functioning. The last born can wake up and tell you that tomorrow this is going to happen and this is going to happen.